Awesome. Well, thank you everyone for joining the session. This is our 4th session in a 5-part series on homeless prevention and diversion. So today we have the American Job Center and Honolulu Community Action Program joining us. We have Janie Crandall, employment consultant, and then Sandy is not able to join us, so we have Mark Bernard, business services coordinator, who has graciously stepped in. And then we have Reiko Sua, the program coordinator with HCAP. So want to thank our presenters so much for joining us today. They're going to talk to us about different employment programs, about the programs that they have. What we'll do is we'll have each program do a presentation. And then if everyone could just hold your questions, feel free to write them in the chat in the meantime so you don't forget anything. But we will have a Q&A at the very end of the session. Just want to ask for those who can, if you can put in the chat who you're joining as, if you're joining as a homeless service provider, as part of a health plan, as a community member, it would just help to know who the audience is so that our presenters can kind of tailor the discussion towards you a little bit. Yeah, so if you're able to introduce yourself in the chat, that would be great. Elliot, did you want to go over any like house rules or things like that for the Teams meeting?
Yeah, sure. So currently all attendees are muted and your cameras are disabled. Throughout the meeting, if you have questions, you can go ahead and throw them in the chat box, or you can raise your hand and Morgan, myself, or the other 2 presenters will be able to unmute you so you can ask your questions. This is being recorded and it will be posted on Partners in Care's website, along with sent out in our weekly newsletter. Yeah, that's about it for me. So back to you, Morgan. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Elliot. Just wanted to make mention, so yes, the session's being recorded, and on the Partners in Care webpage, we are posting the recordings of each session, as well as the PowerPoint slides and a brief, like, couple pager, like 1 to 2 pager on the session, just an overview of what's discussed. So you are welcome to go to the Partners in Care website and find this information. If there's anything you missed, feel free to do so. And just for our presenters, so it looks like we have several homeless service providers on the line, some folks working with education and employment departments at our homeless service agencies, caseworker, Hawaii Vista, Family Assessment Center, housing case managers, public health nurse, some domestic violence service providers, Department of Human Services. Awesome. Okay, thank you guys. Thanks so much for introducing yourselves. All right, now I will turn it over to Janie and Mark to get us started. Did you guys want to share your screen and then just let me know when you'd like me to share the slides?
Sure, thanks, Maureen. You know, what we'd like to do actually, aloha everybody, is we'd like to start off with a kind of a sneak peek. You guys will be the first audience to see a couple commercials that we shot for the American Job Center. So there was 2 versions of it. We're going to show one at the head of our presentation here, and then at the end we'll show the second one. So it's kind of it's a world premiere sneak peek for you folks. So hope it gives a kind of a good idea of what we do here. So let me go ahead and share the screen. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Are we able to see that?
I can see it.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start that.
Did you know there's a one-stop shop in Hawaii that offers free services to those looking for a new job? Maybe you're a graduate fresh out of college or looking to learn new skills for a career change. Visit the nearest American Job Center, Hawaii. The AJCH provides free services to job seekers and also to businesses looking for qualified employees. Located throughout the state, the AJCH is Hawaii's best-kept secret for job seekers and employers. Check it out today. Did you know there's a one-stop shop in Hawaii?
Sorry.
Stop sharing.
Awesome. Thanks, you guys.
All right. So that was the first commercial. And then we'll show the second one at the end. But yeah, so that was our world premiere for our American Job Center. So we'll go ahead and start with our presentation. So Janie.
Well, Morgan's going to share her screen now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so hi, we are from the American Job Center. My name is Janie and I'm an employment consultant.
Hi, and my name is Mark Menard. I am Business Services Coordinator here at the American Job Center. Okay, next slide, please. So the American Job Center, I don't know if everybody's heard of the American Job Center. We were actually rebranded from WorkLinks, Oahu WorkLinks. So if people are familiar with that, we were once known as Oahu WorkLinks over on Dillingham. Currently, we are now housed over at the Dole Cannery. So we've moved over here last year in February. So we're just over here just over a year. So the American Job Center is a one-stop center. Okay? One-stop center brings services together with the state and city partners. So we have our state's workforce development division, along with the city and county's Department of Community Services. Basically, it's a system of employment and training providers. We're all located at one site, so that when we have customers come in, depending on what their need is, we're able to direct them to, whatever department they need to go to, right? So if we have veterans coming in, we have a section that we can point them to go see some veteran counselors. If it's just job searching, we have our staff here that can help them with the resource center. And then, so depending on what their needs are, we can just redirect them without having them go all over the city. So this enables our for us to coordinate with our partners different operation services in a seamless and easy manner to access.
Next slide, please. So today we're sharing with you the employment services offered at the American Job Center that would assist with the prevention and diversion of homelessness. Next slide. The first and most visible when entering our office space is our resource center. The resource center is open to the public for job seeker services. It's open from Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. No appointment is needed, and there's always staff on hand to help for anyone that needs assistance. We ask that all users of the Resource Center register on hirenethawaii.com. HireNet is somewhere that a customer is able to create and post a resume, look for job openings, and research labor market information. HireNet uses the skills and experience gathered from your resume to suggest job openings that match your skill set. Keeping your resume updated and being on the lookout for new positions while still employed is one way to work on increasing income before it's a critical need. Next slide, please. Part of the job seeker services offered are workshops that go over the basics of resume writing, interviewing skills, and job search. Resume writing workshops are held on Tuesdays, interviewing skills on Wednesdays, and job search on Thursdays. Each workshop starts at 9 o'clock and is 1 hour long. Interested persons may sign up at the Resource Center or by calling our office. Next slide, please.
Okay. So the next part is a program that we have called on-the-job training. So on-the-job training for those who are eligible for our program, it's just a tool for us to help the client or the participant be more marketable to business. So basically what the program is that a company or business will hire an individual, and then in order for that individual to get trained up to be a full-fledged trained employee for that business, there is a training plan that would be developed. So whether that be either 6 weeks to 6 months, whatever those skills gaps are that need to be learned for that employee, during that time period, we can actually help the business by deferring some of their labor costs. So half of the labor costs that go into that training will be reimbursed to them through our program. So again, it's a really great way for business to take advantage of some funding in order to, take care of some of those labor costs that they would incur. Now, you know, we've had different types of businesses that we worked with before in positions such as office administration, warehouse workers, utility workers, and drivers. You know, right now, one of our really popular training courses is a CDL. So a lot of people are going in for their CDL training, for the driver's training. So we've been working with businesses to try to place people, you know, into positions. The really great thing about the LJT is that, especially for CDL, is that a lot of businesses want to have a little bit of experience, especially with driving trucks. So this actually gives the business a little bit of an incentive to hire somebody that might not have so much experience, but they would be able to, again, defer some of their labor costs. So again, you know, this is a way for us to help an individual just be more marketable and get hired. We also have something called the an internship program. It's similar in that it's a way for us, again, it's a tool for us to introduce an individual to a business. So ideally, an internship program would be about 4 to 6 weeks, and it's a way for us to introduce them to a business, to make sure that, one, for the job seeker, that it is an appropriate place for them, that it is what they thought it would, you know, the job entails. And then also for the business to get to know the employee, to make sure that they're a good fit. And so during that internship, we would provide a stipend for the job seeker, the employee. And then, you know, the employer can then make a decision whether it's a good fit or not, and then decide to hire them.
The next slide, please. On-the-job training and the internship program fall under the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, or WIOA. Eligibility requirements are the same for all WIOA programs. There are 2 ways to qualify as a dislocated worker: those that have been laid off or notified of a layoff and are unlikely to return to that occupation, or under income guidelines. For income guidelines, we look at the total household income based on household size and employment status. Those individuals with a certified disability may be considered as a family of 1 for income determination. Because we are federally funded, any male born after 1960 must be registered for selective service to be eligible for our program. We also require items such as a social security number verification and birth date verification. Next slide,
please. Okay, so for direct placement, we are able to actually refer participants to our business partners. So a lot of the business that have a relationship with us will provide us with open positions, information about, you know, all the other job openings, so we can actually advertise for them in our resource center. We also provide for them additional assistance for job coaching, job search. We do assessments for them to kind of help them along a career path, and also follow-up services, you know, to make sure that they're staying on their path, and if they need any further assistance. Next slide, please. Okay, so for those that know that their subsidized housing fundings will end, whether it's in 6 months or a year, they may look into taking training classes to change careers or to gain more experience in the field that they're working in. So another WIO program with the same eligibility is our dislocated worker program. We have an eligible training provider list that has literally like hundreds of different types of trainings that people can enroll into. We can provide up to $4,000 in tuition assistance. So, you know, we're partnered with our local community colleges, and then also other training providers that, for example, for some of the IT trainings, we have a local training provider that we work with. And then with the community colleges, you know, anything from meat cutter to what I was mentioning about CDL licensing, being a CNA, there's just a lot of opportunity for different kinds of trainings. Additionally, also for tuition, we also provide funding for support services. So, you know, if it requires tools or books or uniforms, we also can provide the participant with that support also. Okay, next slide.
Yeah, one of the programs offered by the Workforce Development Division is Ticket to Work. Ticket to Work supports career development for people with disabilities who want to work. Beneficiaries with disabilities have access to meaningful employment with the help of Ticket to Work employment service providers called employment networks. The eligibility requirements for Ticket to Work are those ages 18 to 64 collecting Social Security disability insurance and/or supplemental security income. Next slide, please.
Okay, so we also have a program that helps support our senior population, senior citizens, any of those above 55 years or older. So as long as they are meeting our requirements for participation, these individuals will be placed at different work sites in order for them to one, either gain some more work experience, or we see a lot of seniors come in that are looking to supplement their income and also kind of fill in some time, right? That they're that they're trying to, if they're in retirement already, it gives them you know, a place to go and work and have some purpose. So we actually have hosted a few people here in our own offices. They've been, one is actually working with our youth population. He was a former math teacher, a geometry teacher, so he's been very invaluable in tutoring our young people. And we've also had a couple that have been helping us here in our office with some administration help. So it's a great program for those who are retired. A lot of times we have people that come in who say that they're having difficulty because maybe there might be people not willing to hire people their age, but they come with a huge amount of experience, right? So they have a lot to offer the workforce. So you know, in order for us to support that, this is a really great program for our seniors.
Next slide, please. So the last program is the Disabled Veteran Outreach Program. The Disabled Veteran Outreach Program specialists are referred to as DVOPs. There are currently 2 of them in our office, and they're both disabled veterans. The eligibility requirements for the Disabled Veteran Outreach Program are listed here on the slide. For someone to be eligible, they only need to meet 1 of these 10 requirements. It really boils down to any veteran with at least 181 days of consecutive active duty time and more than a dishonorable discharge. Any of basically meeting those requirements is eligible for our services. There are many things that a DVOP can assist with, but as far as employment is concerned, they assist with job matching based on the veteran skill set. They have a network of ready-to-hire positions that they can tap into that have veteran priority. Veterans can register on hireNetHawaii.com, notating their veteran status. The DVOP gets a notification that a veteran has registered on HireNet, and they will then make contact with the veteran to see how they can be of assistance.
Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so who do we provide services for? It's basically our community. Next slide, please. So in order to provide services for basically everybody, right, and all the different individuals, we have different kinds of services that we offer. One is our youth program, 16 to 24, mainly for those youth who haven't finished high school and looking to get their GED. We also provide a career path for them. Married with the youth program is Youth Build, if anybody has heard of that. It is actually a national grant that mainly focuses on construction. So the youth are actually able to get their GED and then do some occupation training with construction. There's our Rent to Work program that helps our population that are experiencing homelessness. and helps them with subsidized rent. Our Hawala program is assisting individuals that are receiving services like SNAP. Teamwork Hawaii is working with our homeless population, doing outreach, going out to meeting them where they're at, trying to get them registered into HireNet, and also assisting them with job search. Workforce Development Division is our state partner, so they have a wider outreach, providing information to our individuals across the state. And then our division of our DVR, the Division of Vocational Rehabilitation, which they service our population of individuals with disabilities.
Next slide, please. And so this is our contact information. You can email, call, come then visit us if you have any
questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, just call that number or email us, and we'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you might have, or assist you in partnering with us.
So now we're going to do the next little
video. Okay.
World premiere.
Yeah, so we'll do the last word premiere video. Okay.
The American Job Center Hawaii provides free employment services for anyone interested in a job. If you've been recently let go, someone with a disability, or a kupuna looking for a fresh start, the American Job Center Hawaii will not only help you find a job, but can train you for a fresh start in a new career. Located in each of the 4 counties throughout the state, the AJCH even provides special services for our veterans. The American Job Center Hawaii, new skills, new career, new beginnings.
Okay, so yep, that was it for us. Yeah. Thank you.
So yeah, if you could contact us with any feedback you have on those commercials, that would be appreciated.
Okay, thank you guys. So continuing our presentation, we're gonna go to Reiko. Reiko, just let me know when to move to the next slide. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Morgan. Aloha, everybody. My name is Riko Sua. I am the program coordinator for Honolulu Community Action Program's Nalimahana Employment Corps Services program. Next slide, please. So Nalimahana Employment Corps Services program essentially assists with those who are low-income housing or individuals who are unemployed or underemployed and looking to better their financial situation, looking to go into new career steps and just need a little bit more support. Thank you. Next step. Next slide, please.
I went over milestones, Reiko. Did you want me to go back to that?
I'm on milestones.
Okay, sorry. Do you guys see that? The milestone slide.
My screen says Nalimahana Employment Corps Services.
We see, we were seeing milestones, now it's locations.
Is that milestones?
Yep, right there.
It's showing it on my screen. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that, Reiko.
We're going with Morgan's screen. Okay, so for our milestones, essentially, how do we do this as far as providing employment services, helping our residents and those in our community reach their goals? Essentially, what happens is everybody can call the offices. We do an initial assessment, and we go through what we like to call milestones. We do intakes, we help them determine their eligibility, which is depending on their income. Income is dependent on household size. A lot of the times we have, whether they're 18, 19-year-olds, or we have a lot of families with 3 to 5 children, or 2-parent, single-parent households. Just depends on what it is or how big the household is how we're going to determine your income. And then from there, we also like to build rapport with you. So a lot of the times in our initial assessments, it's just talking story. Um, Basically setting out an individual service plan. What are some things that are barriers for you? How can we help break those barriers for you? Taking the steps to build the confidence level that you need to become successful in obtaining your goal. We provide job readiness trainings, which include resume building, looking for work, how to look for work, what kind of fields they're interested in. Um, and then we also provide um, mock interview trainings where we build confidence in how to answer questions, how to speak, without having a lot of ums, ands, yeah. So it's that kind of training. We love the hands-on training. We do groups, we do individuals. It's all based on what the comfort of the applicant is. From there, we also provide job placements. A lot of what my job is priority to is building and establishing employment partnerships. I work currently with over 80 to 100 employers on the island of Oahu. And so we like to send a lot of referrals out to our partners to see, what exactly are they looking for in an employee? Um, is there any kind of training? What is their minimum requirements so that we can best refer those that'll be successful in that position? Essentially, lining them up, setting them up for success. Yeah. Once they get employment, we love to just keep giving. So we help them with obtaining work attire. So we help with like a starter kit. What is their essential need to start their jobs? Yeah, and we can also assist with transportation. We work with the bus, and we have our holo cards, so we do help with transportation. And then from there, we do job retention. Our field staff is trained to do 180 days of job retention, making sure that our applicants, our clients are on track. If there's any necessary or much needed additional support, then every time they're talking to their worker, if there's anything additional that they need, it's something that we can provide. Like the AJC, um, we also provide tuition assistance. Um, HCAP actually works very closely with AJC in this area. We love to send referrals back and forth to a lot of our tuition assistance partners. So we do, as Mark said, we do CDLs. We also provide CNA medical trainings. We partner with the University of Hawaii Community Colleges, um, professional healthcare educators. We work with dental assistance programs. So we work with HDAA, which is the Hawaii Dental Assistance Academy. Um, and we're just kind of working to expand it where we can get culinary programs in there, working with HCC, Honolulu Community College, to do apprenticeship programs that they have coming up. So that is our tuition assistance programs. Happy to say we have had quite a success in the CDL area. Um, the drivers have definitely been a need. So our tuition assistance has been one of our most important and valuable aspects of our program. Next slide, please. Okay. Okay. So where can our applicants or potential applicants go? We have 5 district offices located on the island of Oahu. We have one located in Central, which is in Aiea, right by Halawa Housing, right off by Pearl Harbor, right across the street of Aloha Stadium. They are currently our LIHEAP, or our Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program center. All of our staff send their workers there to do our low income energy assistance program, which is currently in effect. We have our Kalihi Palama District Service Center, which is located in Kamehameha 4 housing, right across of Farrington High School. We have an office located up Palolo Valley, across of Palolo Valley Homes. We have our Leeward District office, which is located right next to the boat harbor, right across of the Waianae Intermediate School and Pai'olu Kaia'ulu. And then we have our Windward District Service Center, which is next to our Kahalu'u Elementary School up Waihe'e Road, next to Key Project. Not only do our services come out of these 5 district offices, but they're also provided out of our Kumuhonua Transitional Living Shelter, which is located in Kalailoa. So just, if you're located or if you have individuals that are living in any of these areas, have them feel free to call these numbers, make an appointment. A lot of the times the appointment just secures them that one-on-one needed time so that they get the individual service plan quality made, all the details that they need, anything kind of barriers that they may have is able to be voiced and put down on paper, put down and reported so that I know how to best support the staff to support the applicant. Okay, so next slide, please. Okay, so our services with the Employment Core Service Program, like I said, we do provide job readiness training. So that goes with career goal planning, pre-employment training, the resume building, how to understand and complete a job application. We love to do mock interviews, especially for those who just need that little bit of confidence building. I myself love mock interviews because there's nothing like a little practice to get a little success. And then we have our budgeting class. So once they do start getting paid, we can show them this is how you want to be able to start saving because living in Hawaii is expensive. Yeah. And then we also provide a very basic computer skill training. Like I said, we love to support here. So along with work attire, we help with government ID. So if they need a state ID, their driver's license, if that's a barrier that is stopping them from getting to work, we are able to assist with that. Their birth certificates, and we also provide hygiene kits. Work attire and working tools go together. It's all based on need and what we can assist with. Okay, next slide, please.
Is it showing up?
Okay. Yes. I like the delay. It gives me time to breathe. So GED and tuition assistance services, like I mentioned, we do partner with the community colleges here on Oahu. We also work with Hawaii Medical Training Center. And then we also do our GED program because it is an essential need. We've learned that a lot of our clients who have come to us, they don't have the bare minimum education. They may have just missed one test for their GED, and that is something we can assist with paying for. So we work with Waipahu Community Schools and McKinley Community Schools, School for Adults, and this just helps them get their GED, get a foot in the door. And if they're also interested in vocational training, to go into nursing, construction, CDL, as mentioned before, then that is something that is worked with as well. Okay. Next slide, please. Okay, so along with the Employment Core Services program, here at HCAP, we provide a little bit more. So we have our Head Start program, we have our early Head Start education, and we have our pre-Head Start. So we have classes all over the island, multiple classes. You can give them a call. at the Waipahu office. Their number is 808-847-2400. And just give one of those staff members a call and they'll be happy to help you with that. We have our HA Initiative Creative STEM after school program. They are currently in their summer program. And let me tell you, to be able to send your child somewhere for free and let them learn and not even realize that they're learning, it's amazing. We have 5 classes. Currently, we have our Leeward District Service Center is hosting one of our STEM classes. Our Central District office is hosting a class. We have a classroom at Kaiulani Elementary School. We have a classroom out in Hauula at the Hauula Civic Center, and we also have a classroom at Lincoln Elementary School. I believe they recently went to Sea Life Park, and the students had a blast. So that is for our students in 2nd grade all the way to 8th grade, and the program's completely free. So please feel free to give them a call. Like I said, we have our Kumuhonua Transitional Living Center. That is our adults only shelter. They help with employment, helping people find places, permanent living shelters, just kind of transitioning them into the workforce, back into society where, like, all of us, we got to pay all our utility bills and our rent. Yeah. So it's a nice, smooth transition for them, making them go from ohana to go take care of your own ohana. We have our income tax program that goes from February to April every year, just like all of us. We just love them taxes. We have our free tax program. I believe their income limit this past season was 65,000. So our district service centers all provide tax preparation for free. Like I mentioned earlier, we have our low income home energy assistance program. That program goes from the beginning of June to June 30th. And that helps with energy credit, getting individuals who, we need that little bit of support throughout the year. They're able to apply during the month of June for an energy credit. And then they also have an option if they don't need the energy credit, but they have, unfortunately, a disconnection notice, they're able to apply for the disconnection notice in the month of June. New to our low income home energy assistance program is our water assistance. So we have electric, we have gas, and now in 2022, we have just added assisting with water bill payments. So that is definitely something to inquire about. And then we have, lastly, our weatherization assistance program that helps renters and homeowners. Our renters will get assistance when found eligible. They get assisted with light bulbs, aerated shower heads, smaller line items where it'll help educate them on energy usage to lower their energy bills and help them save. And then our homeowners, a little bit more fortunate once they're found eligible, they're going to be seeing if they can be qualified for a solar water heater, appliances that are energy saving, along with the smaller ticket items. And again, to lower their energy usage and definitely provide education and information, just to save a little bit money in that areas. But other than that, that is HCAP services. And thank you for your time. Next slide. Any questions? This was fun,
Perfect.
Morgan.
Thank you, Reiko. Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you to both of our to all 3 of our presenters so much. With that, we'll transition into questions. So I'm seeing one in the chat. If anyone has questions, feel free to raise your hand or to just enter it into the chat. So Susan had a question. I think this is for you, Reiko, but I think for both programs, if you're able to answer. If a participant has language barriers, will an interpreter be provided to maneuver through your processes?
Okay. I guess I'll answer first. I was like, I was waiting to see if Mark or Janie had something, but unfortunately, we do not have an interpreter that is provided. If it's a lot of our COFA families that we work with, we are fortunate to have a our staff in Leahi, God bless them, our second language or their first language um, are very Micronesian, Melanesian, Marshallese, so they're able to help our applicants, but we do not provide an on-site interpreter.
Yeah, so for us, if it's over the phone, we're able to call some resources through Helping Hands. And if we do get a little bit of lead time, if somebody needs to come in, we are also able to make arrangements for that. So different languages. We also work with We Are Oceania for the Micronesian population also. So yes, there's definitely resources that we can tap into.
Great, thank you both. I had a question. Rico, you've talked about that you guys provide clothes, things like that for interviews. I was just curious, Janie and Mark, does AJC do that as well? Do you guys refer out for that for if someone needs assistance with just getting clothes for interviews or supplies?
We don't have anything like that. We do refer out to Dress for Success for the women. I don't think we have anything for men, do we?
I don't believe, no. I know that the Y was looking at that, but.
Okay. And what about transportation? Is that something that either of your programs provide, or do you refer out, like, or provide bus passes or things like that for clients if they need assistance getting to interviews or jobs?
Once somebody is eligible and enrolled into our program, we can provide bus passes, but only for those people that are eligible and enrolled.
Yeah, like the AJC, we work and provide the holo cards. So if they don't have transportation and they are needing transportation to go on interviews or just to apply for work, we provide a holo card. Once they obtain work, because the holo card passes are only 1 month, if they don't start till the following month, we help with another pass. And then once they're paid, then they should be able to pay for their own passes. But again, everything is case by case.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, guys. Were there any other questions in the chat, or did anyone want to? I don't know. People can raise their hand, right, Elliot? Is that possible?
Yeah,
and unmute?
okay. Yeah, they can raise their hands, and then you can just click their name and unmute them.
Okay. Any questions, you guys? Are there any for both programs? Are there any frequently asked questions that you guys receive that maybe for people working with clients who are homeless or not yet homeless, but looking to increase income? Just any kind of generalized questions that you guys get a lot of. We could answer here.
Sorry, Morgan. Vicky just asked a question about the Energy Assistance Program.
Oh, yeah.
So during the month of June, you can only apply for either the energy credit or the ECI. It's once a program year. So during the month of June, the energy credit is offered. Okay, I like to call it catch-22 with the energy credit is you have to be able to consistently pay for your bill, keep it active up until the time of deposit, okay, which is usually determined in December or January. So late December, early January is usually when you get your letter and usually when you would expect the deposit. That is a one-time lump sum deposit into your HECO, your gas bill, whatever utility you're applying for. But you can only apply for it once. But the great thing is you can apply for it once a program year. So if you applied for it this year, you are still able to apply for it next year. So, can they help me?
Thanks, Rico. Yes, Stephanie had a question as well. Just a frequent question that I'm sure a lot of people receive is just I'm guessing, can the program help me to get a job placement? Which I think the answer is yes, but how would you answer that or advise someone to answer a client with that question?
Yeah, so that is our main mission, is to help job seekers find employers. So depending on what their need is. So if there's skills gaps, right? There's training services that we can provide for. We have our resource center, so if people don't have access to computers or laptops, that kind of equipment, they can come in and do job searches. We have staff here that are ready to help them navigate websites if they're not very computer literate. We have workshops for resume writing, interviewing skills tips, job search tips. So, anything to assist them in that effort to get a job. We don't have ready jobs that we have slips for, like, hey, this job is for you, that's not for you. It's really assisting them, right? It's really 95 to 99% it's their effort, right? And we're just there to walk the path with them.
Yeah, same with us. A lot of the times people ask, can you just get me the job? And I tell them, I would like to, but I cannot. I can provide you all the resources. I can prepare you the best that we know how. But the rest is up to you. So definitely, our job readiness trainings, the mock interviews is a very big key, just to help them get that job. A lot of the times our referrals just help them get a foot in the door, because our partners like to know who HCAP is referring. So once they apply, I send out an email to my partner letting them know, this person is applying for this position, and they keep a lookout for the application. That's the best that I can do. So yeah. Can they help with a bus pass? Yes. We can help with we can help with a bus pass once a month. Um, Depending on, again, are they looking just to go on an interview? What is their status? Did they just get hired, but they don't have the income to purchase a holo card? That is something that they would let the workers that in the field know. And essentially, I purchased the pass. So.
Yeah, and then for participants in our program, as Janie had mentioned, as long as they're eligible and they're participating in our trainings or any one of our services, we provide for bus passes.
Okay. Lydia is asking if she could be emailed about the availability of the GED program. Maybe we could just take down your email, Lydia, and send that over. Susan had a question. Rico, you mentioned HCAP now does help with utility disconnections. Is there a cap amount per family? We've been getting calls where it'll be disconnected within a day's notice. How can HCAP handle that?
Okay. HCAP has actually always helped with utility disconnections. I have worked with HCAP for the last 7 years. I actually started out in the district as a community worker. And back then it was, I want to say it was $500 that we would cap at. It's been 7 years, so I'm not too sure if the limit has been raised. I would definitely give our offices a call. The utility disconnection is one time only. So let's say that in the month of June they apply for, or last month they applied, sorry, hold on. In the month of June, let's say you applied for energy credit, but in the month of July, you get a disconnection notice. You can't apply for both. You can only apply for one. Yeah. So you would have to pick or choose to either change your energy credit to a disconnection assistance, or call HECO. A lot of the times, if you talk to them, work out a payment plan so that you can keep your account active. But again, it's depending on your situation. My best advice I could give you is call your district offices. Um, the central district office, like I said, is our LIHEAP um, office. That is the one office where all the applications go to. Um, if you like, I will definitely put Central's office number in there and you can give them a call for all the updated information as far as the limit on what is their assistance that they can help with.
Great, thanks, Reiko. We had a question from Kimberly Jane. A question for Mark. The disability program needs an SSDI or SSI verification. What if those are in process?
Okay, so for individuals with disabilities, so there's different services. For example, the ticket to work, I'm not too familiar with it, but I know that the eligibility requirement is for 16 to 64, and they do need to be receiving SSDI or supplemental Social Security benefits on that. Whether they're in process or not, I would have to verify with somebody who's more familiar with the ticket to work program. But for others, for example, the DVR partners who are co-located here with us, that would, we would try to get them an appointment with speak to somebody at DVR. They do have a list, a prioritization list, depending on what the disability is and what services that they can provide for. Other than that, having a disability is one of the eligibility that would make them eligible for many of our programs. So for youth, the 16 to 24, if they're looking to get their GED or some occupational trainings, normally they would just require either a written note from a doctor, or a lot who are coming out of the high schools will have an IEP or a 504. And that would qualify them for that program. And similarly, also for the adult program, if they do have a documented disability, that would make them eligible for our services here also. Hope that answers the question.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. I see Reiko put in the chat the Central District Service Center number, just so you guys have it. To'oa had a question. Reiko, does HCAP assist with other expenses besides bus pass and utility disconnections?
We help with so much disconnection. Let's see. So other than our transportation, our utilities, work attire, I'm not too sure what other assistance you would need. Is there other expenses you have in mind that haven't been mentioned? That's a lot of the times it's just depending on what our clients' needs, but those have just been the most popular assistance and expenses requests with need. So my answer currently would be no.
Yeah, To'oa, if you have any first month's rent.
Oh, first month. Housing. Rental assistance. I do know that we had our CARES Act funding where we would help with rental assistance, first month and deposit. Currently, we do not have that assistance right now. Yeah.
Thanks, Reiko.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions, you guys? Or presenters, anything you wanted to just make mention of before we close?
I just put my email in the chat, so if anybody needs any questions answered or any further assistance, please don't hesitate just to drop me an email.
Thanks, Mark. Okay, I'm going to just show one more slide here before we close, and that's just to let people know of the session next Wednesday, same time. It's the budgeting and tenancy skills session. So we'll have Hawaiian Community Assets and RISE go over some budgeting and tenancy skills, which of course, you know, employment plays a big part in that. So they'll be reflecting a little bit on this session as well. To get information on that session, feel free to reach out to us. It's in the Partners in Care weekly digest that goes out. And I believe Elliot sends a reminder day of as well. So feel free to join or share that with others. Otherwise, we will be sharing the slides and the recording and a one-pager on the Partners in Care website after. If anyone missed anything or you want to just rewatch a snippet of this, feel free to. But thank you guys so much. Thank you, Janie, Mark, Reiko, for your time. This has been really great. So we really appreciate you taking time out of your day to present on this and answer some questions for us as well. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Great,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you.